Think in English. Stop translating in your head. English from zero. Every time you try to speak English, you go through the same exhausting process. You think of what you want to say in your language, you translate it into English in your head, and then by the time you are ready to speak, the moment is already gone. Today, we are going to end that cycle forever.
Welcome back to English from Zero. I'm Jake.
And I'm Jessica. And today we are tackling one of the most frustrating problems that English learners face, that little translator living inside your head that slows everything down.
Yes, that translator feels helpful at first, but it is actually the biggest thing standing between you and real English fluency. And today, we're going to show you exactly how to shut it down.
Permanently. But before we get into it, make sure you subscribe to English from Zero if you have not already. We drop new lessons every single week, and every single one is designed to get you closer to fluency.
Okay, Jessica, let us start with the big question. Why do we translate in the first place?
Great question. So when we first learn English, our brain has no direct connection between English words and the real world. It only knows how to connect things through our first language.
So our brain uses our first language as a bridge to get to English.
Exactly. You see a dog, and your brain thinks the word in your language first, and then finds the English word dog, because that bridge is the only path your brain knows.
So the translation is not laziness, it's just the only route your brain has available at that moment.
Exactly. But here's the problem. That route is slow, and real conversations do not wait for you to cross the bridge and come back.
Yes, by the time you've translated your thought, the conversation has already moved on, and your moment to speak has disappeared.
Yes, and that is why so many learners understand English perfectly, but freeze when they try to speak. The content is there, but the route is too slow.
So the solution is not to learn more words or study more grammar. The solution is to build a new direct route.
Exactly. A direct highway from your thoughts straight to English. No bridge, no detour, no translation. Just direct.
And how do we build that highway, Jessica?
The first way is to think in single words first. Not sentences, not paragraphs, just single words.
Single words. So instead of trying to think in English sentences right away, I just start with individual words.
Yes, when you look at something around you right now, just think the English word for it. Don't say it in your language first. Just go directly to the English word.
So I look at my phone and I think phone. I look at the window and I think window. I look at my coffee and I think coffee.
Exactly. And every time you do that, you're laying one brick on that direct highway, one small direct connection between the real world and English. No bridge needed.
That is so simple, but I can feel how powerful it is because right now I'm looking around the room and thinking English words, and it feels completely different from translating.
Yes, it feels more immediate, more alive, more real, because you're not going through another language. You're going straight to English.
And over time, those single words turn into phrases, and those phrases turn into sentences, and those sentences turn into conversations.
Exactly. It all starts with single words. The highway gets built one brick at a time. Okay, what's the second way, Jake?
The second way is to stop looking up translations and start using English-to-English explanations.
Yes, this is so important. Every time you look up a new word and find the translation in your language, you're strengthening that bridge. You're telling your brain, keep using the old route.
But if you look up the English explanation instead, you're forcing your brain to stay in English the whole time.
Exactly. So instead of looking up the word enormous and finding the translation, you read that enormous means extremely large, much bigger than normal.
And now my brain understood enormous completely in English. No bridge, no translation, direct.
Yes, and that direct understanding is so much stronger than a translation because your brain processed the meaning entirely in English from start to finish.
So every time we use an English-to-English explanation, we're laying more bricks on that direct highway.
Exactly. And there are so many free English-to-English dictionaries available. Start using them today. Every single new word. English explanation only.
Okay, I'm definitely making that switch today. Okay, everyone, tell us in the comments. Do you still translate in your head when you speak English? Be honest, we want to hear from you.
Yes, write it below. And by the way, we've been growing so much lately, and it means everything to us. If you're part of this community and you haven't subscribed yet, make sure you do. You are exactly the kind of learner this channel was built for.
And we have more coming right now. The next tips are where it really gets interesting. So stay with us.
You're already building that highway. Keep going.
Okay, Jessica. What is the third way to stop translating and start thinking directly in English?
The third way is to narrate your life in English.
Narrate your life, like a movie narrator?
Exactly like that. When you are alone, just start describing everything you are doing in English, out loud or in your head. I am walking to the kitchen. The fuller is cold. I am opening the fridge. I am not sure what I want to eat.
So you're basically turning your everyday life into an English movie that you're narrating yourself.
Yes, and the beautiful thing about this is that you are not translating. You are just describing directly in English in real time.
And because it's happening in real time, your brain has no time to go through the bridge. It has to find the English word immediately.
Exactly. And at first, it will feel slow and a little awkward. You will pause and search for words, and that is completely okay.
Yes, those pauses are your brain building new connections. Every time you search for an English word directly, without translating, you're strengthening that direct highway.
And after a few days of doing this, you will notice something incredible. The pauses get shorter, the words come faster, and the English starts to feel more and more automatic.
Because your brain is learning that it does not need the bridge anymore. It can go straight to English directly.
Exactly. That is the moment everything starts to change. And it starts with simply narrating your life in your kitchen, in your bathroom, on your walk to work. Anywhere you are alone, just start talking in English.
I love that. Your whole life becomes an English practice session. Okay, what is the fourth way?
The fourth way is to think in images, not words.
Think in images. What do you mean exactly?
So, when most learners hear an English word, they automatically think of the word in their language, but fluent speakers do not do that. When they hear the word ocean, they don't think of a translation. They see a picture, a vast blue body of water, waves, endless horizon.
Oh, I see. So instead of going word to translation, they go word to image directly.
Exactly. And images have no language. A picture of an ocean is the same for everyone in the world, regardless of what language they speak.
So if I train my brain to connect English words directly to images instead of translations, I'm completely removing the bridge.
Yes, because the image is the meaning. You don't need a translation to understand what ocean means if you can picture it immediately.
That is such a powerful shift. So how do we train this?
Start small. Every time you learn a new English word, close your eyes and picture it vividly. Make the image as clear and as detailed as possible. See the colors, feel the texture, imagine the smell if there is one.
So the word storm becomes dark clouds, thunder, rain hitting a window, the smell of wet ground.
Exactly. Now, that word is connected to a rich, vivid experience in your mind. Not a translation, not another word. A real sensory experience.
And those kinds of connections are almost impossible to forget.
Almost impossible, because they are stored not just as language, but as experience. And experience lives much deeper in your memory than any translation ever could.
Wow, okay, that completely changes how I think about learning new words. Okay, what is the fifth way, Jessica?
The fifth and most powerful way is to think in English before you sleep and after you wake up.
The first and last moments of the day.
Yes, these two moments are incredibly powerful for your brain. When you wake up, your mind is fresh and open, and when you go to sleep, your brain is about to spend hours organizing and storing everything you experienced that day.
So if the first thing my brain does in the morning is think in English, it starts the whole day in English mode.
Exactly. Just three simple questions when you wake up. How do I feel today? What is the weather like? What am I going to do today? Three questions, three answers, all in English, all before you even look at your phone.
And before bed, you think about your day in English. Today was good. I was tired this afternoon. I had a great conversation with my friend. Simple sentences, real thoughts, all in English.
Yes, and your brain will process and store those English thoughts while you sleep, strengthening those direct connections all through the night without you even trying.
So while you're asleep, your brain is literally building that English highway for you.
Yes, all you have to do is give it the right material before you close your eyes.
That's incredible. Okay, let's do our full summary. What was the first way?
The first way was think in single words first. Look at things around you and go directly to the English word. No bridge, no translation, just direct connection.
The second way was use English to English explanations. Stop looking up translations. Find the English meaning of every new word and keep your brain inside English the whole time.
The third way was narrate your life in English. Describe everything you are doing in real time. Give your brain no choice but to find English words directly and immediately.
The fourth way was think in images, not words. Connect English words to vivid pictures and experiences. Remove the translation completely and replace it with something much stronger and much more memorable.
And the fifth way was think in English at the first and last moments of your day. Start your morning in English mode, end your night with English thoughts, and let your brain do the rest while you sleep.
5 ways, all of them simple, all of them free, all of them available to you starting right now, today.
Yes, you don't need a classroom, you don't need a teacher, you don't need a textbook. You just need your own mind and the decision to start using it in English.
And the more you use these 5 ways, the quieter that translator in your head becomes, until one day you realize it has completely disappeared.
And on that day, English will not feel like a foreign language anymore. It will just feel like thinking.
Just like thinking. That's the goal, and it's closer than you think.
Much closer. Okay, everyone, we want to hear from you. Which of these 5 ways are you going to try first? Tell us in the comments below. We read every single one.
And if you're not subscribed yet, what are you waiting for? Hit that button and join the English from Zero family. Every week, we put out lessons that are designed to get you one step closer to thinking and speaking in English naturally.
Now, here's something important. You just learned how to think in English without translating. But here's the real test. Can your brain actually keep up when native speakers talk fast? Because thinking in English is one thing, but understanding fast native English in real conversations and in movies is a completely different challenge. And if you want to train your ears to catch every single word, even at full native speed, go watch our video, Fast English Phrases for Movies. Test your listening. We take real movie clips and break down exactly what was said word by word. Your ears will be completely transformed after that one.
The highway is built. Now it's time to test it at full speed. We'll see you in the next one.